Road to Shodan, Episode 3.
Welcome to Shogi Harbor. I'm Karolina and...
I'm Wojtek.
And today we have the third episode. Welcome once again. But before we start, we have some news, right?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes? So what's the first news?
Yeah, so...
There's someone
yeah.
missing. What
Right.
happened?
Yeah, So, as you see, the sub-penguin is not with us today. He's on journey. He's fine. So what's the second news?
The second news is from Shogi's, from the world of Shogi.
Yeah.
As you may remember from the last time, we told you about the challenge of Nishiyama to become a professional.
Yes.
She did manage to win both games on the last meeting of the Shoreikai, but unfortunately she was placed third.
Yeah.
And her rivals also won all of their games. So as you can see, her result, her final result is 14 wins and 4 losses.
As the first and second place are the same.
Yes.
But why is she number 3 then, if they have the same number of wins?
So the first, when we have an equal number of wins, we look at the position in the previous league.
Yeah, so this would be this number, 2, 4, 21.
Yeah, so as we can see, the guys who became professionals, they had a great result also last year.
Yeah.
But Nishiyama was only 21st.
And therefore she was third, but it also means she gets something, right?
Yeah, she got with this kanji, it means jiten, it's like next point. It's a special point that is awarded for the player who is on the third place. So the first 2 players become professionals, and the third player gets this jiten. If you get this point twice, you can become a professional. There are some special conditions about it, but you can become a professional the same way as the professional exam that we talked last time about, which Orita
which
Shogo
would put you in free class, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So also Nishiyama-san, obviously she wasn't satisfied with her result, and you could see, was she actually crying? I think there was some news that... I mean, her result was amazing. 14 wins. One professional commented that it means already that you're strong enough.
Yeah.
She proved it in what tournament was it? She played against
Rio tournament.
She played in Rio tournament, beating 9 down quite quickly.
Yeah,
right. So she has all the strength she needs to become pro. She just needs to prove it next half year, right?
Yeah. The next league will start at the beginning of April.
Yeah. So she has one more chance or even 2. So she's still 24. She has still more chances, but it all depends on her mentality as well, with what approach she will go into it. But we are rooting for her and hope you guys root with us.
It would be a great news.
Yeah, and let's cross fingers for her.
Okay, and one more technical news from Karolina.
Yep, I have a new mouse.
Yeah!
I was recommended by one of my stream viewers about how to buy a silent mouse, and I tried. I hope it's gonna be easier to listen to this stream without obnoxious mouse sounds.
Okay.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, so that's all of the news, and let's jump straight into the game.
Okay, so who do we have today?
So today we actually have a player from Poland. His nickname is Kazik. And he is ranked 5Q.
Yes.
And this time the game was not played live. It was played on Little Golem, which hopefully many of you guys know. It's a great place to play. What kind of games do we play there?
Yeah, so we play correspondence game, which means you don't have to play move after move. You can think many days even on one move.
Yeah.
So in the past people would be setting letters to themselves, like playing chess games. So it's the same idea. You just send the move and wait for the answer.
Yeah.
Of course there's time limit, but usually very long.
Yeah, like usually 1 week.
Yeah. So this game we expect it's better content because of that.
Yeah, there shouldn't be any obvious mistakes or blunders.
But is there?
We'll see.
Yeah. And Kazik's comment was that he won against his rival, who is higher ranked than him. For the first time, he won against his rival.
Let's see. And he said that he was not sure what he did right.
No, he didn't. No, he said he actually didn't feel he played any differently than usual. So so in that meaning he's not sure what he did right. Okay, So he just played his usual and
so his opponent.
So it means his opponent played worse?
Maybe. Or maybe
maybe he's not appreciating himself more. Maybe he did play better.
We leave the judgment to our viewers.
Okay. So he will have a question about the castle and the king safety, and as we will see, it's gonna be a little bit crazy game.
Yeah, and so far we have shown you double ranging rook opening. Last time it was static rook versus ranging rook. So this time we have double static rook.
Yeah. So let's jump right in.
Yeah. So our viewer is Sente.
Is Sente,
Okay. So the opening pretty normal. Both sides push their.
So Wojtek, which opening do you play, by the way?
I think I have better results when I play static rook.
Okay, so we will be relying on your knowledge on static rook in this one because I'm the Fury Bishop player, swinging rook player.
But the static rook, one disadvantage of this opening is that the Fury changes really quickly, and sometimes it goes back and forth. So one opening will be considered okay, then someone will find a refutation and they will go back. So
it's very complicated opening theory.
Yeah, but fortunately, we amateur players don't have to know all of that.
So what about this position?
I think it's usual position. This gold move is a standard one. We want to protect the bishop's head, which is the biggest weakness on the shogi board.
But what
strictly
about
speaking,
this?
So maybe we can go back a few moves. So I think in professional games, most players would advance the bishop. This is the most standard way to prevent our opponent from exchanging the rook's pawn. Now if we take with the rook, we lose the pawn. Right. So this is, and after that, we would open. Right. So,
So this would be bishop exchange open, right? The usual.
So if we are showing this, we can say that, for example, here, we could try to, for example, push the rook's pawn. But then, if our opponent exchanges the bishops, we have to take back with the knight, and it's a bad shape.
Yeah, we could say that, right? Because this square is no longer protectable.
Yeah.
Although it's complicated.
Yeah, of course, it's not losing, but it's not something
you don't want to make this shape, basically.
If we can avoid it, we should do that.
And this is why usually we move this.
And here, you advance the silver to 8-8.
Yeah, or
but here it's a big theoretical debate nowadays, which is the best place for the silver. For example, if you go to 8-8, then our opponent can say advance the gold to protect the bishop. We advance the pawn, and now he can close the bishop's diagonal and prevent us from, and say, I don't want to exchange the bishops.
So this is okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I see.
I think, I'm not sure because, as I said, nowadays it's so much, but the idea is that
this silver will become minus, right?
Yeah, it's not in a good place to make a castle.
So maybe this silver is better.
Yeah, and after that there is another idea.
Variation, I see.
So this is one of the things that really go back and forth. So I no longer know which is the best one. Probably both are playable, but at the professional level, they really want to find the
it's
best
not a
move.
mistake to play one or another.
Yeah,
one.
of course.
I can imagine that you could change this castle into snow roof.
Yeah, Gangi.
Yeah, or this one would be like also normal. So whatever you like.
Yeah. So if we started this discussion, maybe let's go back a little bit more.
Oh my God. Okay.
If we go to the very beginning, like the starting position, I read in the World of Shogi in February edition.
The magazine,
Yeah, that nowadays professionals would start like Aigakari, so
double swing attack.
Yeah, double wing. And now, usually we would play like this.
Yes.
But instead of advancing the gold, now we open the bishop.
Oh.
And
you still cannot push it, right?
Yeah. So
if you push it, then it's Yoko Fudori, right?
And now, let me see. Now you would advance the. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I had to. Yeah. Now, if like Karolina said, if you open the bishop, then the normal move would be to advance the gold, and like here, and now we have Yoko Fudori. But this opening, this is the starting position of Yoko Fudori, and like until 2 years ago, it was a really popular opening, and the bishop to 3-3 was really often played. But nowadays, the king to 5-2. Sorry.
Nope. This is.
No, instead of the bishop. Sorry. No, bishop 3-3.
Yeah.
And now king to 5-8.
5-8.
Yeah, this is called Aonoryu, and it's really difficult on professional level to win against this as black, as white.
And this is why Gote would like to change this opening to something different, right?
So instead of opening,
we should comment the game.
No, to najwyżej wytniesz.
We should comment the game. Yeah, but we should do another video on that, I think, with Wojtek. If you guys want this type of video, tell us in the comments. I really would like to listen to what Wojtek has to say, but poor Kazik is not gonna get his commentary. Okay. So we were in this position?
Yeah.
And here...
So here, the usual move would be to advance the bishop.
But he moved the gold.
But this is also fine, because we have a counter-attack.
Do we?
Yeah. So this is the Gote played the natural move. If our opponent allows us to exchange the pawn, why not do it?
Yeah.
Because that opens the line, we get the pawn.
This line, yeah.
And here, I think in the game, our listener has played has played gold to 7-7.
Yeah, that's a little bit
so
weird, right?
Yeah, it's a really bad shape. Because now the bishop is no longer
open.
Yeah, we cannot use the bishop anymore. I think, and I was pretty surprised when we look at this game, because a few years ago when I used to play on 81 Dojo, there was another guy from Poland who played this move every single time. So I was like, what?
Is it the same guy?
I think not. I think it's someone different.
Maybe it's like Polish trend right now.
Yeah, so I really hope we Polish guys stop to play this move. It's not too good.
So what should you do if you shouldn't play that?
So I think the problem that our viewer has realized is that we can take the side pawn.
Yeah, so if you drop, you can.
Yeah. And we drop the pawn. We dropped a pawn which we could have used somewhere else, and we also lost a pawn. Yeah. So it's a really bad exchange. So what should we do is we should make a counter. We should push this pawn, because now I think all of our viewers know this. Yeah, the bishop is not protected, so we would lose the bishop.
Yeah.
So here the gold move to 3-2 is probably forced, and now we can exchange our pawn. Yeah.
And this time he's forced to drop it, right?
Yeah. Well, he could try to open the bishop's diagonal, but let's not go into that. And now we can pull the rook and protect the pawn. So
but this is more natural way to do it, right? Because we exchange while going back. And this is possible because we were retaining the pawn drop to 2-3, right?
Yes. So now probably Gote would pull the rook here to 2-8 or 2-6. I think both moves are
8-4 or 8-2.
8. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. And because we
next you have this move.
Yeah, the hanging pawn. So and now it's a normal game.
Both sides exchange the rook pawn, so nobody is at bad, right?
Yeah, it's something like variation of the Aigakari double wing attack.
So it's equal game.
Yeah, equal game. No problem at all.
All right.
So that's how you should play.
Yeah, you shouldn't move the gold, right? Okay, so what happened actually? He moved the gold.
Yeah.
The Gote went back, and of course you have to drop the pawn.
Yeah.
You don't have to drop it actually, but.
Yeah, you don't have to drop it, but if we.
But the shape will go weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, drop.
It's a really unpleasant position.
And here, Gote opened the diagonal. And this time Gote used his bishop to protect.
Yeah.
And here, gold went back.
So the gold went up and down again.
So you lost a move on that, right?
Yeah. And if we go 2 moves from here. Yeah. So if we look at Sente's position, we reach a position that appears really often in static rook games, but Gote has won a lot of moves. So let's go back to the very beginning, and I would like to show you a position where a normal sequence.
The Joseki line.
Yeah,
where standard sequence. Okay.
Yeah, so well, let's for example open the bishop's diagonal. Sorry. Yeah, bishop, rook pawn. No, sorry. Let's start again. So it's rook, bishop pawn, rook pawn, bishop, and we close. And we know. And if you are as Gote, if you are as ranging rook, you would close the diagonal. But if you are a static rook player, you will play silver, for example here. Yeah. And now we play, for example, gold. Yeah. Yeah. And here silver. And if you
compare it to the previous position, this pawn is still here.
Yeah.
And the silver's already here, right?
Yeah, so Sente's position is exactly the same as in the game, but Gote's pawn, instead of 8-4, is now in hand.
Let me try to find the position.
Maybe 17, move number 17.
Yeah, so the pawn was here, right?
Yeah. So
big difference.
Yeah. Gote would need to push the pawn once and again to start the exchanges.
And of course you could prevent it as a bishop exchange and silver 8 and stuff like that.
Yeah, but if we only calculate the moves, Gote is 2 moves ahead compared to the normal line.
So this is why the gold move up and down. It's very passive and possibly bad.
Of course, on amateur level, it doesn't really matter. I mean,
but if you want to become a Shodan, it will.
This stuff will become
important.
For example, if you memorize some bishop exchange moves from a book, in this position, it's highly likely they won't work because the defense or attack will be quicker.
Because Gote already has a pawn and you're delayed. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So here we are, Senta is a little bit behind on the moves, but the game continues.
Yeah.
So here we are trying to make some kind of castle, right? What's your feeling about that, Wojtek?
So as we saw before, this opening seems to be bishop exchange 1.
But the bishops are not exchanged.
Both players don't want to exchange the bishops, which is fine. But now the opponent, mostly Gote, is trying to go for an Aigakari-like structure, maybe something like side pawn picker structure. But
with the king in the center, right?
Yeah. So, but that structure is mostly used when the rook is floating, so is on 8-4, sometimes 8-5. And then it makes sense because we try to attack using the rook and the knights. And the generals stay close to the king.
Yes.
But here it doesn't. I think it's kind of strange, but of course it's still playable.
Yeah. So as we will see later on, because Gote decided on this castle after 2 moves, we're gonna see that Sente actually blocked his bishop line, which means he's going for a more strong castle, which would put Gote at disadvantage. Because Gote is going for balanced position, but his bishop and silver are a little bit trapped right now, right?
Yeah. Well, now from here both players play in a quite non-orthodox style, so it's really difficult to compare it to something that we've seen before. But well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. So this is the theory in the opening so far, but let's see how the Q fight.
Yeah.
All right. So here Gote is going for a natural quick attack, right? And the Sente is trying to unblock his silver, probably.
Yeah. So, but
again a move. Because here it takes 1 move to get here, and then it took 2 moves to get here. So it's 1 move loss again.
Sente is really losing moves. Maybe here I can imagine that he had some idea, and since it's a correspondence game, maybe he hasn't played for a week.
Yeah, but as we talked, this isn't too bad, right?
Yeah.
Because Gote is already a little bit weakened. So if you go for strength, to strengthen your king, that's a good strategy, I think.
Yeah.
But question is it worth that 1 move, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you wanted to go for Crab Castle, why not go so directly? Yeah. Okay, so Sente is building a castle, and Gote is trying to attack quickly.
Yeah.
The king in the middle makes me somewhat uneasy, because it's so close to the attack.
But on the other hand, if the king would be here, that would be even worse, right?
Oh yeah, it would be nicer if the king was in Yagura or somewhere more on the right. Okay, let's see.
But the good thing is, it's not on this line where it can be affected. So it's not too bad. And this is why he's forced to attack, because he cannot improve his position. Maybe he felt that the only thing he can do is to attack. Maybe this is why. And this is why you shouldn't play moves like 5 to king too early.
Yeah.
Because then you're stuck with your position. Alright, so here we go. Gote is attacking. With weak king, trying to attack the Sente's king before it gets too strong. And what happens? So he took the pawn. If he doesn't, you can try moves like this, but then your position is a little bit quite weak, right?
Yeah.
It's big fight starts. It's not necessarily bad, but the bishop, as you can see, will be able to exchange and maybe.
Yeah, Sente wanted to complete his castle.
Yeah.
But now he's forced to open the position, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here we have a rather strange move, or maybe inefficient move by Gote, I think.
Yeah, so here, Sente managed to defend. And why is that? It's because he's attacking the strong point, right?
Yeah.
So what should he do instead? Maybe simply take it?
Yeah, I think so.
And then if you drop the pawn, this is something you probably know as a viewer.
Yeah.
There is this kind of climbing silver attack, right?
Yeah, this is the most fundamental attacking line in Shogi, maybe, because this also
not maybe for sure.
You can use it also as a ranging rook player sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
You would basically attack the weak point, which is the bishop's head, which is quite important. So if your silver will be taken, here your rook gets promoted, you have silver-gold exchange. It is possible to defend it, but you get a dragon and a lot of pawns. So it's good for Gote, right?
Yeah.
And the other variation is you take this pawn.
Yes.
Silver takes, rook takes. Then what can you do? Pawn drop?
Yeah, pawn on silver, right?
But then, can we take the side pawn maybe again, or simply go back, right?
Yeah.
Either way, we exchange the offensive silver for defensive one. So this is still complicated, but in theory, Gote should be a little bit better.
Yeah, Gote gains
on this,
some points.
Yeah, tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although the king is still in the middle and it's horrible, and yeah, the more pieces in the hand it will be more scary. But the tactical point of this climbing silver is you exchange the attacking with silver with defensive one.
Yeah. So if we look at the correct line, it seems that Gote may have tried to castle too much.
You mean the main line?
Yeah. Because.
Center.
Yeah, center. Because center concentrated, focused on castling, and his opponent started attacking. So, and Gote has no counter attack. Center has no counter attack.
Yeah, but that's part of his plan, right? To force Gote to attack.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, I would say the center is probably a bit too passive.
I see.
But
I don't know much about double Ibisha, so it's quite interesting for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like the feeling that.
Usually you would have this balance, right?
Yeah.
Between attack and defense. But recently also we have those weird gangy shapes where Gote is just attacking with everything. But the difference is the king is in different spot.
Yeah.
So I think Gote might be also be doing harm to him.
Okay, so let's see the next move.
So yeah, center defended around here.
Yeah.
And now he can again slow down, right? Because the rook, it seems it's a little bit wrong position. Yeah, so I think what beginner make this mistake kind of because I exchanged the pawn on this line, I should try to exchange another pawn type of thinking. But that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
If the rook is here, it's a good attacking spot for the future. Just look at it. If you have another knight, you can break here. So you should keep that pressure over there.
Yeah, that's a really good point. But well, if you play against a Yagura, if you watch some professional games, you will see that they are trying different attacks. So
I see.
It can be really confusing. But like Karolina said, the attack on the 8th file is the most fundamental one.
Now that you spoke about Yagura attacks, I think this would be the next idea, right? To develop the knight. And now that we have the pawn exchange, we can drop it here.
Yeah.
The question where the rook should be, right?
Yeah, because if we develop it like here and it's something like that happened in the game, well, the rook is blocked. And we need to find a good timing to unlock it. Yeah,
so this is why Yagura is so difficult, because you need this certain standard moves to not be blocked, and this is why you should at least check some pro games to know what's the flow of the game. But in this case, the king is here and it's difficult. Because the more you attack, if you jump with the knight here, the more pieces you give and the more your king will be unsafe.
Yeah,
so
the counter
for now,
could
I'm
be,
not sure about Gote's position, right?
Yeah.
And this gold is not so good either, I believe. And this side goes naturally.
Yeah.
One back. Okay. So this line is very good for a bishop, right?
Yeah. I think this is why.
And there was option for exchange here, but should you do it or should you not? That's another question. Right?
It's a really difficult question. In the past, I used to do this exchange every single time it became possible. But if you play out the moves,
sometimes it's not so.
Yeah, well, one thing that Gote can do is to jump the knight and block the exchange if they really don't want to give you the bishop in hand.
And then they have this nice piece to continue attacking, right?
Yeah. Another thing that one has to be careful about is that after bishop takes and rook takes, sometimes there could be some bishop fork. So this is.
But in this case, you would be quite happy with this castle and maybe slowing down.
Yeah. So after this moves, it seems that maybe we have helped got a little bit.
To develop the silver, right?
Yeah.
So this is why you should always think twice before doing that, right?
Yeah.
And if you keep the bishop here, it also means Gote is quite trapped right now, right?
Yeah, that's true, because the bishop is doing nothing here.
So maybe Sente took a very good point by developing his bishop, right?
Maybe his idea was to first enter with the king to the castle and then start any exchanges.
Yeah, but let's see.
Yeah.
So silver 3-3, developing the shape, king goes to the castle, knight 7-3, which is the usual Jagora's attacking shape.
Yeah, but it's a difficult question. Here it's probably not gonna work because the bishop is useless.
Yeah, this bishop is somewhere.
It's doing nothing. So if the bishop was on 3-3 on the long diagonal, maybe then there would be some chance. Also, what I really I think if the silver was not on 6-4 but on 5-4, then we could push the pawn.
Yeah, so
and
we
try
have
to open
this
the line.
Yagura destroyer shape.
Yeah.
But it's completely different shape. I don't want to show it right now.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do a special video about it actually.
Yeah.
It's a cool opening trap for Yagura, who builds up without looking for the counter. But yeah, in that case, bishop on 3-3 would be more scary for the king on 8-8. But in this case, it's quite complicated because Gote's pieces so long are hurting each other.
Yeah, so the rook is confined.
Yeah, the rook is confined.
And the bishop is
confined.
closed. Yeah.
The king is, you don't know where.
Yeah.
The knight has almost nowhere to jump. The silver has no way to go forward because there are 3 pawns in front of him.
Yeah.
So Gote seems to be a little bit in trouble.
Yeah.
But even though, Sente still needs to have some way of getting advantage from here, right?
Yeah.
So here is the edge pawn, which is not bad. And here, Sente, whatever Sente did, apart from the moves that were passing in the opening, from then he played very naturally.
Yes, that is true.
And
it seems that Gote did not take advantage of the additional moves that he could have played. He played some moves that are really dubious.
Okay, this move is something I don't like.
Yeah? Why don't you like it?
I know it opens the bishop,
yeah.
But the king's head becomes weaker.
Yeah.
And you don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
Because it also means you will attack here, which means there will be weakness here. So it gives me creeps.
Yeah. On the other hand...
on the other hand, if you go to castling, the silver's gonna come, so there's no good position for the king right now.
Yeah. It seems that this pawn push is like the only way for Gote to attack.
Yeah,
here.
And if it's such a position, it means Gote did some mistakes in the opening. And finally he pushes it.
Okay, so he wants a bishop in hand. And a pawn drop.
Oh, pawn drop.
What is the meaning of this pawn drop?
I mean, this is a tesuji in certain situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the rook would be here and you had the bishop, you can drop it here.
Oh yeah, with a
But
fork.
the problem is you don't have the bishop yet.
Yeah.
So I guess after this move he was trying to make something like this and then threatening to do this. But this is not what happened basically. So Gote wasted 1 pawn in this way. So yeah, before you give away the pawn, you should always check if it has a sense. In this case it didn't. I mean, yeah, sure, in some cases the rook defense will weaken. But here the question is, do you have a follow-up move?
Yeah.
And if you do, I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Knight jump. Okay, so threatening this fork, right?
Yeah.
So silver up, pawn push.
And we open up the attack.
Yeah, again from the king's side though.
Yeah, and here...
So this is usually a tesuji, and this would be the meaning of why it was good to make the rook go up.
Yeah.
If that player thought of it in order to do this pawn drop, it's great.
Yeah.
But the question is it good enough as a total? Because 1, you're out of pawns.
Yeah.
2, you're attacking from king side.
Yeah.
the talking isn't really doing much so far.
Yeah. Yeah, one disadvantage of this pawn is that you cannot use it to protect your king anymore.
Oh yeah, like here, because it's nifu, right?
Yeah.
So if center manages to attack in this timing, that would be the perfect variation for center.
Is that possible? We'll see.
Yeah, we will see. So yeah, he defended it once, which is usually a scary move, but in this case it's good because it one runs away from the knight and two there is no bishop here, so not bad. And here we have 5-5 silver, silver takes, and the rook goes back. Okay,
so why does the rook go back? Is it to simply take the pawn?
I think what he's thinking is like this. But because this pawn tesuji before dropping it, it slows you down again. It's a cool tesuji to slow you down. So basically you take one move in the form of one pawn. But here what I'm concerned is this bishop's head and this knight jump. So I'm not sure if you should defend one more move here.
Well, I guess another threat was silver to 3-8, right? I mean, why for the attacking the rook and the knight?
3-8.
Yeah. After the exchanges.
3-8 is not bad. Oh, I see. Because
we cannot protect the 4-7.
So if you would play something, then. Okay,
this would protect us. Yeah. Now we are attacking two places besides the rook. So.
Yeah, so this may be good, and then if you try to protect it, maybe this might be good, although it's still not very obvious to me because of this move. And
we could simply try to take the knight, right? With the silver here. Yeah, the rook goes.
You mean here, right?
Yeah. And next, drop the knight.
Yeah, but it's a different game. So I understand that, but the distance from the king, right?
Yeah.
If you have a silver here, how far is it from this king, right?
Yeah.
So you have to always think about the king. So you want to protect that piece instead of this. The rook is not as important. Okay. So if you have something promoted here, it's worse than being promoted here, probably by the theory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gote is attacking in the middle.
Here, right? Taking the gold might be an option. Not sure.
That would be closer to the
but
to the castle.
If you do this, okay, I see. There's no way to continue, right? So maybe So Gote now can slow down.
Okay.
And center will try to counterattack, right?
Yeah, now if we look at the line of the bishop, it's looking really close. It's really near to the king.
Yeah, suddenly you can make checks, so you're like getting nervous. And also this pawn is here, so this pawn drop here is very painful.
Yes.
Yeah, so suddenly center managed to find a way to activate the bishop.
And we also got a silver in hand, so we will be able to drop it in front of the pawn.
So every time you exchange the pieces, the question is, are you safe enough to do it?
Yes.
This pawn comes here to attack the bishop.
Okay, so we are making an escape route
for the bishop.
Yep.
The bishop is being attacked, but here the silver drop. Okay, so if center doesn't do anything next, this pawn drop, the pawn push comes, and the lance comes attacking the bishop. So center is a little bit nervous here.
Yeah.
Although his king is still safe. There are 2 golds, 1 silver, right? And you want to counter here. You want to do some counter. So this silver, and this silver is quite interesting. The reason is, the meaning of the silver is, if you take this knight, and if let's say gold takes it, then this rook goes here. Maybe
let's show the variation.
Then you can go here, and then you are attacking this silver with a check. And trying to promote. So it's called Jujibisha, the cross rook. And it's very good tesuji, right? So if you're seeing that, that's great. But there are some buts. There is some but. If you take it with the bishop, you're protecting this silver.
Okay.
So then you can just simply protect the promotion, right?
So it's it's no longer so great.
It's no longer so great. So yeah, it is an interesting target for the GG bishop, but
yeah, and we also have another threat, right? After we take the knight,
yeah,
and if the gold takes, we have a fork right in the middle.
Ah, this one. Yeah, that's also very good. This again proves the point that this is such a weakness here.
Yeah.
What Sente could do is, of course, drop the pawn here, because it's such a quick attack, or just simply attack the knight. Because if you force the knight to go away, you can still do the rook. Yeah.
And now if he protects with the pawn...
Although you should take this pawn before.
Yeah.
You should take this one before.
Okay.
And then again, you have the same attack.
Right. So here we have another position in which the pawn on 5-8 is, we can say, crying.
And now if you promote, it's already too little too late as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crying. It's more like a stone. You cannot move it, and the king is crying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gote is doing great job, but if you find with such a big hole in your defense, it's really hard to keep it together. So Sente is giving a good fight using the silver. I think it's a nice target. And the rook leaves maybe to protect this line.
Okay, so finally trying to use the rook.
Although the original plan was to take it, bishop takes.
Yeah. And here we have a really surprising move.
Yeah. So again, if you would run, this pawn drop is okay.
Yes.
And this pawn was something I didn't understand when I watched this kifu, and we were suspecting some either misclick or like correspondence game mistake. Because this move, we actually checked it with the computer actually also, and Sente was winning over 1000 points, and suddenly it became equal game. Just because of this one pawn push. And why is it so bad? Is that this is the biggest Jaguar's weakness. Yeah. So we know it's the edge, but if you manage to make this pawn go up, there are pawn drops like here, which completely destroy your castle. Yeah.
So for example, the idea of such a
or you can
pawn drop
and drop here.
So Gote would like to
usually Gote
give
would
check.
Like to also like drop it here. Yeah. So you allow him to make a check.
Yeah. So often in double static rook openings, if the pawn would be still on 8-5, a really common pattern is to sacrifice this pawn to make this pawn go up, and then you try to further disrupt the castle.
And here we have Sente just pushing it.
So you are like hurting yourself.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what Gote is trying to do is to go here. Yeah. Takes, bishop takes. And maybe what he imagined is like if he drops the knight will come. Maybe that's what he imagined. Yeah.
So he was maybe afraid of the diagonal.
But it's okay, because if you take it, then you can drop the silver attacking the bishop, right?
Yeah, maybe let's show the moves.
Yeah.
It will be...
I have to pass something. I don't know what to pass. So maybe like drop.
You can drop or move the silver.
You can promote, but the rook can escape.
Yeah. And the pawn that was pushed doesn't change anything in this variation.
Yeah, it actually is still here and you have a stable position, right? Yeah. Yeah, so maybe what he was afraid was something like this, but
Well, if our viewer is watching the game, maybe he can comment on this. Yeah, maybe we are missing something, but
we don't know what happened. Yeah. So this move can be actually punished by this move.
Wow.
Yeah. There was one more move actually.
Yeah, I think it was a silver.
This move. Yeah. The computer proposed this move and it was a little bit good for Gote. Yeah,
it's attacking. Well, the bishop cannot be saved. Yeah. Well, if you sacrifice unless you sacrifice the rook. So both major pieces of Sente are blocked. Yes. So now it's really the position is like changing. Yeah. Because Gote's pieces are becoming active, And centers are becoming blocked.
Although the king is quite weak still, and it's so hard. But
like Gote is getting some chances.
Yeah, some chaos is becoming in the game, which means Gote's chances rises.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's. Yeah.
So
what if you are a winner? You should go for a clear win.
Yeah.
And what the loser is trying to do is to make as much chaos as possible. That's the main rule in Shogi.
Yeah. So if you are losing, you have to make the position more complicated so that your opponent can make a mistake.
Yeah, and this is making the position complicated for center.
Yeah.
So silver drop, which is usually at a Suji.
Yeah.
And suddenly.
And center went for a attack. And he is trying to make the rook active. Although he cannot promote on 2-1 because Gote has a rook over there.
But what center is trying to do is to drop the knight here. If the king escapes to here, there is a court drop.
Yeah, and we have a fork.
But also he can run here.
Well, then he resigns.
I don't know.
If he runs there, then maybe you can sacrifice the rook and drop a silver.
Yeah, so it is becoming complicated.
Yeah. It seems to.
But yeah, the easiest way to think of it, now the king is alone for Gote. Yeah. So center should be good, but center doesn't have a good attack.
Yeah, and he only has 3 pieces in attack, the rook and 2 pieces in hand.
Yeah.
And the proverb is
that
that...
is not attacking. Yeah, so like you could like drop the pawn maybe. I think...
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if there's something to force this king. This is not, okay. If you take it, but it's okay, right? The moment you take this, you take... It's so complicated. And there's a silver drop, right?
Yeah.
So, go back and the knight promotes. It's complicated. Take the rook.
Well, the rook can go,
As you see, the position becomes chaotic, and just the fact that it's becoming chaotic center, it's a little bit in trouble.
Okay, did we show the correct move for center? Instead of instead of pawn to 8-6, did we already show? We did. So maybe let's do that.
So yeah, because it's horrible, it's chaotic.
Yeah.
What was the move?
So wasn't it rook takes the pawn on 2-5?
Simply. Or was it like... Or knight drop, was it? Wait, let me think.
Or maybe pawn to 5-4? No, because we don't have...
Wasn't it like 5-3 pawn or something?
Yeah, there was a variation like this. So
double check time. Double check time. I see. Let's show this variation. Okay, let's show it. So the computer is proposing to just go here. If you take it, there is the knight drop, right?
Yeah.
So the king has to run. Let's say here. Then you drop the knight. Then go back. Pawn drop. King runs on promotion, and you can see something very interesting.
Okay, so it's like the dancing pawn.
Yeah, so it is hard for me because I'm not used to like those light attacks like with pawn and knight to find something like this. But it just proves that the king is very, very weak.
Yeah.
And even simple weird looking pawn drop like this might work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is one...
I mean, probably the knight drop isn't too bad too. Or the pawn drop. I mean, those moves shouldn't be too bad if you just continue attacking that weak point, right? I don't think they would be too bad.
Well, the difference is that our opponent can always play the silver to 6. So...
True.
We want to
make something forceful, right?
Yeah, as forcing as possible.
But if you're not sure, the run with the rook shouldn't be too played too, right?
Okay, so... Yeah.
But it was very subtle, it means that, right? Shogi is difficult. We want to explain everything so simply, well, this position is easier, this is more stable and stuff, but then you need this perfect variation to make it work. That's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, black started attacking very strongly, and here got to move the king. Which didn't seem so good to me.
Well, the idea was probably to escape from the knight track.
Yeah. We say that king's early escape is worth 8 moves, but
Yeah.
you are escaping into direct dangerous territory anyway, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure if it changes this much.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here there is still this very painful pawn drop, which was perfectly made by Sente.
Yeah.
Here knight drop.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, the only option is probably to take the rook, promote the pawn,
Yes.
then checkmate, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. The classical.
So, yeah, the classical knight to 3-3. And therefore, he ran early again. So he's trying to survive a few more moves. Here, it's over.
Okay.
Yeah, the silver, the only attacking piece, well, okay, it's not the only attacking piece. The silver that was like protecting the center and blocking the rook, the knight is gone, the blocking rook knight is gone, the silver is taken. So if the game goes slowly from now on, Sente has the advantage. He can also make the talking. I'm not sure if it, no, it's not checkmate yet, the rook is here. But yeah, if I see this move, I want to resign.
Yeah, so Gote is trying to give some resistance.
Yeah, so let's see it until the end, because if Sente still makes one mistake, it might be difficult, but yeah, I think you can even start making checks here. I mean, like checkmate threats, I don't know, like something like this, or in this case the king can run and this can become dangerous and stuff like this. So maybe this is why he moved the rook. You can also promote it.
Yeah.
This is checkmate by the gold.
So what next, right? That's the question.
Well, all I can see is like, I don't know, something like this. Should be good enough. Yeah, anyway, anything is winning, so this is okay.
Well, it seems that Sente is winning, but it's not obvious, right? You have to be really...
It is obvious, you just need to give the final punch, right? Okay, pawn promotion. Runs away.
Well, if you have to think, then it means it's not obvious.
Maybe. Maybe. What if you sacrifice the donkey?
Yeah. So
if he takes like this, you can promote, right?
Yeah.
And then you can slow down and win. Because your rook is safe.
Yes.
If the king takes, then that's the draw will start. You can take the bishop, right? If the king goes down, you can... yeah, it's decisive, no? Where would you run?
No, it's a different... Well, let's say 3-2.
3-2. You can take the...
Yeah, I guess take, and again rook promotes.
Yeah, but then gold drop, right? I mean, you can do anything probably. Promote first. Drop. Maybe like sacrifice something. Yeah, what I was thinking is like there's maybe even more scary variation like this. But maybe it's too much, eh? You can still drop the gold.
Yeah, now we are giving Gote
some
material, so...
Yeah, simply taking, right? You can also check from the below, right? But it's similar to what it was before. Yeah, okay. Yes, we also have to check if this is safe because there's some knight drop right here, right now. So if I can give or not those pieces.
No, it doesn't make sense.
it should be okay, right? If you take this.
Drop the silver to 3-3, let's say.
Well, then there's checkmate. Well, 3-2.
Well, we can
take the gold.
Oh,
but I'm wondering if there is something else.
Maybe gold.
That's too much. Yeah, just take it, probably.
Gold, bishop.
Yeah, what do you want to do is like make checkmate trade. If you take the gold, it's not. But also, you know, trying to take this, so. But yeah, it's complicated. Yeah, it's okay. As I said, if Santa can slow down the game, it should be okay. Yeah, at this point. Because he has 2 bishops, rook, 2 golds. So even if you slow down the game, you don't find the checkmate immediately. You can take a step back, because in this case your king is okay. It's alright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sometimes it's really hard, you know, like you're, in my case when I was a little bit younger, I would think, oh, I have to win, I have to checkmate this king and stuff like this. But the more I try to attack the king, the more pieces I give away, right?
Yeah.
So it paradoxically means my king is less safe. But if you look calmly, this king on 8-8 still has some time, right? If you give one more piece, it's dangerous. Now it's okay. If there is a knight here next, right? So let's just find some variation. If there is a knight here, and if we had one more piece, maybe it would be scary. Also, we take away the silver, which means it's not scary at all. But in this case, we can always slow down, right? Or always play another type of move, right? It's okay. You can slow down. If you are evil, you can even go and take this stuff like this. But yeah, what I'm saying is like make your opponent cry. Do not give him any pieces at the end. Eh? Okay, so we were talking about this variation.
Yeah.
So bishop drop, he moved, knight drop, and the rook. It was okay. I mean, it's also a good way to decide the game, right? It is more scary because now we have this promoted knight here. In this case, should be okay.
So the opponent
Rook
gets
takes,
some attack.
Yeah, if you would take it again, there is the pawn promotion.
With a threat mate.
Again, the king can run, and again, we have to read some variations. But probably something like this is enough. Probably. Although in that variation you have to read this kind of checks, you know. You have to make sure you are surviving this. Eh? So in this case it's quite obvious, but there are times where it's not. And this is because this move takes one more move. So again, we're speaking about tempo.
Yeah, so we are only escaping.
Yeah, this escapes, doesn't bring much to attack, right? Okay. So endgame, tempo is everything. Takes, goes here. So I would really want to appreciate Gote here for not retaking this rook.
Okay, why?
Because there's no defense already. If you retake this rook, it means it's, again, loss of tempo in the defense. In the defense that you don't have. So you should invest that move in the attack. If you have nothing to lose, you can just try to risk it all, right? So it's really, really nice attacking move here, even though he's losing. It's really nice.
Okay, so this move has some potential.
Yeah,
some potential.
It has the good flow, kinda. The understanding of his position. So that's important, I think. So yeah, he's of course one move too slow. I was also wondering in this position, if I may. And now it's not enough, right? Is it checkmate?
Well, we do have a lot of pieces.
Yeah, I think something like the bishop drop here.
So if the gold takes, then the
this is quite
rook is and would end everything.
It's like Tessuji, right?
Yeah, the standard technique.
Or the knight drop.
Ikenryu.
Yeah, one. But here you can either run or promote.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing one more piece. Which also we can do this move. But yeah, I mean, I was thinking of this variation, but I mean, obviously this is also enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking of checkmate.
Yeah, it seems difficult to force checkmate here. Maybe.
Yeah, of course. But also it forces him to use the attacking piece in the defense, right? And blocks his escaping route. Yeah. I was just wondering if it's Tsume.
Yeah.
Okay, promote. Drops.
Yeah, so Gote is not giving up. And now
Is this a checkmate? I need to know.
Yeah, so Gote is trying to build finally some nice castle for the king.
Finally. Yeah, it might be checkmate, I just cannot read it. Drop takes, knight or something, goes to this side. There is the rook, so it doesn't work. So how about you drop the bishop before that? Then he takes it, you take, drop. And then how many do we have? We have one more gold, right? But then we don't have the knight over there, which is... Yeah, homework, guys. Homework. Okay, so anyway, if you don't have Tsume, go for the Hishi. And this is like quite cool way to decide this silver drop. If you take it, it's checkmate in one.
Yeah. And is it a threat mate anyway?
Yeah, with gold here.
Yes.
Yeah, it would be weird if it wouldn't be a threat mate.
But you have to check it, right?
Yeah, you have to check it. Then he took the gold, which we drops, and another silver drop. Is this a checkmate? It has to be. It has to be a checkmate, right?
Is it a checkmate?
It should be a checkmate, right?
He has a nice castle of 3 gold.
Yeah.
So the king is finally
safe.
Sound and safe.
Yeah. I need to know. It should be a checkmate, right? Like this.
I would know.
I mean, I can even probably go nast here. This is working, right? It's a very nasty way to do it, but...
But is it a checkmate?
Is it? Wojtek.
The king goes
Here.
diagonally.
Here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And diagonally again.
It's not a checkmate. Maybe I was too nasty. If Wojtek said there is no checkmate, it must be no checkmate. What about the pawn drop then?
Yeah.
That should do it, right?
Yeah.
Now we have one more god, so...
Yeah. There is some potential.
Alright. As long as it's not Nifu. Yeah, there are many ways. I'm starting to think about new moves, but yep, alright. So anyway. Oh, okay, so he dropped the silver, then this side takes this silver, takes, bishop drop, king runs, takes the rook.
Okay, so he abandons the rook, but has a lot of pieces in hand.
Yep.
The king seems to be still safe. But still, we have 2 golds in defense. So it shouldn't be...
This is checkmate.
Okay.
Now I know for sure.
Yeah, we checked it before. I remember.
We did.
Okay, so if we remove the gold with the rook, it's reduced to
basically removal of the defender.
Yeah.
It's easier to see. I mean, there are maybe moves like this too, but it's harder to read because the king can run or run here.
It's
but
not
if you remove the defender, it's quite easy. But what Kazik did is he drove the rook here.
Yeah.
Which I suspected to be a misclick, but no.
Okay.
Goes for the simple idea of checkmate again, right? And there are many ways to do it.
So now the lance takes, we drop.
I still would like to save one more gold, right? You don't need to sacrifice. Yeah, but sure, it works. It works.
Yeah.
If the lance takes, checkmate, right?
So it seems that our viewer has managed to checkmate the king nicely.
Yep. It's a very good king, wasn't it?
Yeah.
For center, for Kazik.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting game.
Yeah.
In the beginning, both mainly center, lost many tempos, lost many moves. He took his time.
But Gote had also not a very good shape.
Yeah, Gote didn't have any good idea, I think, to coordinate his pieces, to make them work efficiently together.
Yeah, they were like cramped together.
Yeah, so he ended up, well, he started some attack, it didn't go well, so he basically blocked all of his pieces and waited for center to attack. And it wasn't, for some moments, it was not so obvious.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It became pretty clear. So, as you can see, even if you follow the basic principles of like castling, Shogi is not so simple that if you go
the usual.
Yeah.
Let's say it's easier to win.
Yeah.
But not necessarily easy.
Yeah.
So do not be discouraged if you see like your opponent playing weird moves and you can be like, how could I lose this Shogi? No, Shogi is still difficult, right?
Yeah.
And also remember your Shogi shapes. Please don't play gold to 7/7.
Yeah, so I think we showed you the correct way to play.
Yeah, I will also show you Furibisha version maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Which was Azagote, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Azagote. So this is the Furibisha version of the gold to 3/3.
Oh.
And then you move your rook here, basically.
Oh, so this is.
Yeah, this is better shape.
This is also like a special strategy, maybe to surprise your opponent.
Yeah, Sakata style opposing rook. You can Google that, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember your shapes. Fight until the end. If you're winning, go for clear win. If you're losing, go for chaos on the board. Yeah. And that's all the lessons that we learned thanks to Kazik and your kifu you've sent us.
Thank you very much.
So also remember, if you wanna your kifu to be commended, send this in the form in the link below. Of course, subscribe,
like.
But before we end, we have something cool to say at the end, right?
Yeah, we have a special giveaway for our fantastic viewers. Oh, here it is.
So we
what
have
is that?
A calendar of this 2020 year. I'm sorry it's already March, but with Fuji Sota.
Who's that?
Everybody knows Fuji Sota, the most talented young professional nowadays. So this is calendar with him, and we're gonna give it to one of our lucky viewers.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is to write a comment below this video and describe your favorite opening and why do you like it. And then Wojtek is going to choose one person and he's gonna send it to you for free.
Okay.
As a gift.
Wow! Yeah, so be sure to do that, and we wait for your comments.
Comments, give us.
See you in the next video. Bye bye!